What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here. Welcome into another video. We're going to be hopping into the Great League here with a team that I found was very strong. So we're going to go through some matchups here, show everybody how I like to play them and how I went on this run with this team, climbing almost 100 elo points. So let's go, climbing back into the veteran ranking, over 2,500 points. So let's hop into the battles here and check out this team with Cresselia, Shadow Whiscash, and Skarmory. So pretty terrible lead here for Feraligatr into Cresselia. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Hydro Cannon, as Cresselia is very bulky. I'm going to let them come in with the double, and I'm going to save all this energy, come in with the Skarmory, and they're going to have to payback me to do any meaningful damage. So I'm going to let this first move go through. Payback does a boatload of damage to Skarmory. I'm going to farm up 4 more Steel Wings, which is the correct move timing. 2 versus 3 fast moves. So you want to throw 1, 4, or 7, and I'm going to go straight for the Brave Bird. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't KO, but actually, I'm very happy it didn't KO because then my opponent wouldn't have gotten that farm down. And they decide to come in with a Lickitung. Okay, so this is pretty okay. Gonna come in with the Whiscash here after throwing the Future Sight, and they hop into a Feraligatr. Now, the Feraligatr is 5-5-5, where we are 5-4-5 for the Mud Bomb. So we're gonna be able to outpace them, hopefully grab both shields, and we can get a Skull debuff onto that Lickitung, and hopefully a Future Sight is gonna be not able to knock out this bulky Lickitung. But let's see how this matchup plays out. So gonna shield up the second Hydro Cannon. We have Mud Bomb and a half, I think. Mud Bomb and 1 more residual energy. That is enough to take care of the Feraligatr. Left, right, good night. And I'm throwing the Skull. But what I should be doing here is staying in with the Whiscash, making them expend energy, getting those extra mud shot damage, making them throw their Power Whip, and then coming in with my own Cresselia, because they're gonna get to a Body Slam to almost knock us out. They get a little bit of farm, and then they're gonna be able to get to a Power Whip to KO the Whiscash. So unfortunately, bad play on my end, great energy management by my opponent, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent. So Bastiodon lead. Pretty unfortunate that we don't see it on the Whiscash, but Cresselia does fine here. Very tanky Pokemon going at it, but Bastiodon is going to be able to outbulk this Cresselia, as you're going to see in this matchup. Just going straight for the Grass Knots here. I'm going to throw on 1, 4, or 7. 7 being my preferred time of throwing, because then I get maximum energy while making sure they don't sneak a full smackdown as well. So I'm just going to stay in this matchup, then come in with my Whiscash and see what I can do. I'm assuming that there's going to be a Razor Leaper back there and probably a Wigglytuff, as that is the most common core you're going to see with the Bastiodon lead. And on cue, there's the Victory Bell. I can just now line up my Skarmory against this Victory Bell, and since it's a Razor Leaf, it's going to take so much longer for them to get to any charge moves, and all their charge moves are going to be resisted by the Skarmory. Even though they are Shadow, we are going to get the full farm down, and I am just making sure I tap on my Whiscash as soon as I see that Bastiodon, because their switch clock timer is not up, and they're just going to top left because they know the game is over. I'm just going to get a couple of mud shots in, farm up my boatload of energy until they swap out, throw a couple moves at that Wigglytuff, and then we have the Skarmory with the double move to knock out. So Dugong lead. I do like to stay in this matchup. Even though they are going to debuff me, we are going to outpace the first Grass Knot. So that is absolutely amazing for us here, as Grass Knot would do a significant amount of damage against that Dugong, probably about 45% to 50% of their health, and we're going to be able to outpace. So second Grass Knot coming in. This is probably going to be getting that the first one got the shield, the second one did not get the shield, which is quite fine by me. I'm just going to take my shield advantage with this matchup and then come in with either my Skarmory or my Whiscash. So again, making sure I'm throwing up proper timing, 1, 4, or 7 for the 2 versus 3 for 3 turn fast move. And I'm going to let this move go through. It is going to KO us. Oh, it does not KO us. So they get 1 more Ice Shard worth of damage. I think they might have undercharged that a little bit, but I'm not too sure. Somebody in the comments down below, let me know if they did undercharge that. And we're going to hop into our Whiscash after we see the Lanturn. And Whiscash up energy and up a shield should be able to take this Medicham matchup. I haven't seen Medicham in almost all season. And here we go, seeing a Medicham. I'm just going to farm up a bit more energy. I do shield the potential Ice Punch, but they have Power Up Punch, which makes this matchup a little bit worse for Whiscash, but you know, up a shield, we should be able to take this. I do no shield that one. I do want to keep a shield in case they get a Surf through, and Mud Bomb is going to be enough to take out the Medicham, and we're going to make it to the back-to-back Mud Bombs before this Lanturn is able to make it to 2 Surfs, and back-to-back Mud Bombs should be able to take care of this Lanturn. So they're 1 away from the next Surf, and we are 1 away from our next Mud Bomb, and we're just going to be able to take this game. They tried to farm down, have some energy loaded for that Skarmory, but it is what it is. GG's, well played to my opponent there. There's not really much they could have did in that end game, but we took that one. So Dragonair lead. What I find is Dragonairs really like to shield. So what I'm going to do is farm up to a little bit above Moonblast, because Future Sight is 8, Moonblast is 7, and Grass Knot is 6. So I like to farm up just a little bit more energy, throw the Grass Knot bait. That allows me to get to this next Future Sight a lot more comfortable, and it makes them expend energy just a little bit sooner. Body Slam not going to be enough to KO. Future Sight is probably going to be grabbing that second shield, and then we have a 2 shield advantage, Skarmory and Whiscash, against whatever they have in the back here. I'm not going to shield up my Skarmory. My Skarmory can take 2 Aqua Tails, no problem. Decent IVs there. Although the CP didn't add up to what I wanted it to be. It is what it is. You get what you get. You power up what you get. So gonna take the second Aqua Tail, and I know I'm not gonna get Dragon Breath farm down, so I'm just gonna leave with so much loaded energy. And it's another Medicham back there. What the heck is all the, or where are all these Medichams coming from? Doesn't really matter. We get the Scald off. That does so much damage against the Medicham. It's absolutely absurd. We're gonna shield up the Ice Punch. I'm gonna farm up just a little bit more energy here, throw the Scald just to ensure the KO, and we should be able to outpace the 2 Surfs, or 2 Mud Bombs before they get the 2 Surfs again, pretty easily here. Making sure to throw on CMP tie. Mud Bomb comes in. I'm gonna shield up this one, and I do believe my opponent just top lefts from here, or they definitely just top left from there. That's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. Whiscash just coming in on these Lanturns. So Vigoroth lead again, just stay in this matchup, and they come into a Skarmory. Now I could have farmed up some more energy, but I did not want the Skarmory or this Cresselia to get any more energy than it needed to get, because I'm gonna need multiple Sky Attacks to KO this thing. And even though the moves are resisted, I do want to leave with some residual energy to threaten a shield from that Vigoroth when it comes back in. So again, look at that, 2 Future Sights. We're down to the yellow. 1 more Future Sight is going to KO us. So I'm going to count to 7, throw my next Sky Attack, because it's 8 to the first one, 7 to the next 2. So you got to be wary that they do get to that next Future Sight a little bit sooner. So we are able to get to that Brave Bird. I want to lower my defense to lower the farm that this Vigoroth gets on my Skarmory. So that's why I threw right away. And look at the spice. They are bringing in the Gengar here. Gonna shield up the Shadow Punch. No reason not to shield from here on out, as when I get my Cresselia onto like Vigoroth, it's gonna be game over. And all I have to do is get to 1 more Mud Bomb, shield up this last Shadow Punch here, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played. As much as Vigoroth is a great Pokemon, Body Slams just do nothing to Cresselia. The counters are resisted, and Future Sight just does so much damage. We even get to 1 more Mud Bomb to go. They could have thrown their Body Slam, but I think they wanted to get as much energy as possible, and that allows us to switch out of this matchup, saving our Whiscash and not allowing them to get the full farm down. And this Future Sight is going to be more than enough to take out that Vigoroth. That's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. So this team, it's bulky, it's very strong, and it is very flexible. So it's great for swapping out if you need to. Just don't get caught on a Lanturn with your Skarmory. Don't get caught with a Grass type against your Whiscash. So Lanturn lead, I'm going to throw right on the CMP tie for this Grass Knot a Thunderbolt. And Thunderbolt does do a boatload of damage, which is quite unfortunate, but Grass Knot is going to hit pretty hard. And what I should be doing is throwing right now, but I decided to throw on 6. Thinking that they were going to farm back up to the Thunderbolt, but smartly, my opponent throws the Surf, knowing they win CMP tie. Now, if I throw on 5 there, I'm not going to take all this damage, and I would have had a lot more health, and I just insta-swap into my Whiscash against this Abomasnow. That was a big mistake on my end. I should have just stayed in here with the Cresselia. Hopefully got into a move, gotten a shield. Now I'm forced to shield my Whiscash against this Abomasnow. And if it's... You're going to see what's in the back here, because as soon as I bring out my Skarmory, they have a Talonflame in the back, and that's going to be a good game. So that definitely could have been a win on my end. I just really messed up that matchup. So another Lanturn lead. Wow, this is a pretty good matchup for us again. So this time I'm going to learn from my mistake. I'm going to throw on 7 and not 8 this time, but they decided to throw the Surf, which is quite fine by me. So now they come in with an Alolan Ninetales. I'm going to farm up just a little bit more energy. That way I outpace to those Grass Knots before those the Lanturn could get to any more moves. We do get the full farm down, but now this Lanturn is going to get a farm down of its own. So I'm going to throw a Sky Attack first, and then hopefully I can make it to a Brave Bird just to do as much damage as I can. I do give them a little bit more farm, but on the plus side, now this Lanturn is really deep in the yellow, and one grass knot is going to KO it. I decided to throw it energy, or not throw energy right away, take the surf because I know we can, and it's a Wigglytuff in the back. I'm going to throw this future sight because I know one grass knot is going to KO that that Lanturn. So Whiscash should be able to put in a lot of work here, especially down a shield. This Wigglytuff isn't really gonna be much of a problem. Can shield up the icy wind here, no problem. Get to these mud bombs fairly quick. Again, throwing out after one fast move here. Mud bomb is going to be taking out the Wigglytuff, but they decide to shield. I can throw 4 more mud shots and then the next mud bomb, and we should be able to make one more mud bomb before we go down here. And Whiscash putting the whole team on its back here. Left, right, good night to that Lanturn, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Even though we were debuffed there, it's going to be super effective damage. There was nothing they could have really done there. So Annihilape lead, they hop into a Dugong. I don't necessarily have a very strong response to this Dugong here, so what I'm going to do is a little bit of chip and dip. So I'm going to throw a couple more moves, let them throw their icy wind, just so they waste energy, and my Cresselia can tank that energy no problem. Then I come into my Skarmory. I am going to get debuffed again, but I will not be double debuffed. So I'm going to farm up some more energy here. Throwing on 7, and this Sky Attack is going to be taking care of this Dugong. So this is what this does, is allow me to get to a Brave Bird fairly quick, and also limit the farm here on this Annihilape against my Skarmory. So Brave Bird going to be coming in. That does get the shield. They are going to get the full farm down, so I have to be wary that they are close to a Shadow Ball. Now, I make a big mistake. I come in, I throw my move right away. They know it's not a future sight, so they do not have to invest a shield. But I will invest a shield back here, even if it's a Night Slash, so be it. But we are able to make it to a second Grass Knot, which is amazing. I'm hoping that grabs a shield, which it does, which makes me think they are really weak to this Cresselia in the back. So what I'm going to do is here, shield the Shadow Ball. It's a Bastiodon in the back. Let's go. Whiscash is going to have a great time, but they decide to top left. They knew the game was over. Maybe if they baited there, they might have gotten away with the win, but who knows? We'll never know. So Gligar on the lead. I do like to stay in this matchup here, but they decide to swap into a Lickitung. Again, I could have came into my Skarmory right away, but I do want to ensure that we are going to win this matchup against the Lickitung. So I throw the Future Sight, just get some nice chip damage, which kind of puts it into a range where I can farm up more energy, throw my Sky Attack, get the knockout, and have residual energy going into the back end of the next matchup. So going up to double Sky Attack, this Sky Attack will definitely KO this Lickitung. So see you later, Lickitung. What wants to come into a loaded Skarmory? Hopefully it's something that we can Brave Bird. Out comes the Gligar. I'm going to no shield this. They have to dig to KO me, and that's going to make sure that they have no energy remaining. So I decide to come in with my Whiscash. I know this is just an Aerial Ace, so I can survive this. So that's why I let it go. And they decided to stay in this matchup. I'm going to go for the Scald right away. And Scald is either going to take them right out. Left, right. Good night to that Gligar. Out comes an Annihilape. And if they want to shield this Scald, all I have to do now is come into my Cresselia, make it to the back-to-back Future Sights, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. I can let this move go through. And it is a Night Slash. We called the bait. That is absolutely amazing. That just puts the nail in the coffin for this matchup here. So Future Sight is going to be doing massive damage onto this Annihilape, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Left, right, good night. On to the next matchup here. Magnezone lead. Oh, what am I going to do against this Magnezone? So I'm going to make sure to throw on proper timing, throwing 9 Psycho Cuts this time, because you want to throw on odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, just to make sure they don't sneak a full switch through, because that would be absolutely terrible. I decided to catch the Wild Charge onto Whiscash, because I think my Cresselia would have been very good against whatever is in the back. And what do I know? I am right. There isn't a Azumarill back there. Grass Knot is going to do some nice damage. All I have to do is put it into a Grass Knot range, which we did. Whiscash doing its job just right. We can let the Ice Beam go through now. Whiscash has done his job, so I'm going to farm up to 7 Psycho Cuts and then throw the move. I can let this Play Rough go through. Wild Charge is going to do a lot more than a Play Rough. I actually farm up over 100 energy, which is a little bit silly of me to do, but I have the double Grass Knot locked and loaded, so I can throw 1 Psycho Cut and then the Grass Knot, which is absolutely amazing. I'm going to swap here, trying to catch what I believe to be a wild charge, so I can farm all the way down. But they bait us with the mirror shot, and that is absolutely brutal. Gonna have to shield it the second move. Wild charge would have definitely taken us out, but we're able to get to the full farm down. In comes a Gligar. You love to see it. Skarmory on the Gligar is just prime time for the Skarmory. They have to go for aerial aces or digs, which are both resisted. Wing attacks are gonna be resisted, and Skarmory just has an amazing matchup against this. Even a shield down, Skarmory's gonna take this no problem. So Sky Attack, left, right, good night, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent, and I want to thank every single one of you guys for watching those videos, for watching this video here. We went 8-2 with this team, so I really hope you all have positive sets while playing it. It's very versatile, very easy team to use. You just kind of have to, you know, let Cresselia play the matchup it needs to play, and hopefully you get alignment in the back. So again, thank you all so very much for watching. If you guys are liking the content, please hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in the future, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps out the channel and it is greatly appreciated. Let me know that in the comments how you did with this team, and we will see everybody in the next video. Bye bye.